All right, everybody, welcome to episode 11 of Kings of Opinion. We got Wander to my left and Ernie off the stream. Everyone say hello.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day or evening, wherever you may be.
There you go. All right, with that, I'm going to start off with Ryan's rant real quick. So, yesterday I'm sitting at home watching TV, and you know what? I get hungry at 8 o'clock. And I said, you know what? I feel like I need a sandwich. So, like a nice cold cut sandwich, maybe ham, bologna, roast beef. I didn't know at the time, so I'm starting to look it up. And do you know the only place on a Sunday that you could get a sandwich, or at least stuff to make a sandwich, is Stop and Shop. Besides Cherry Valley, which is too far, and if you do DoorDash, yeah, whatever, you could get it. But if you don't do DoorDash and you just want to go and pick up a sandwich, Stop and Shop is the only place in the neighborhood right now to get a sandwich. And it drives me nuts that we don't have not a 24-hour per se deli or anything like that, but just a place open till 10 o'clock to get a sandwich, and a decent sandwich at best, just for a little craving.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a Sunday too, so that's a factor, right, with the earlier closings.
Is this Wyoming? Or is this New York City that
Never
apparently
sleeps.
doesn't sleep,
Ah,
right? But they take weed naps. And if you know what movie that's from, kudos, drop it in the likes or drop it in a comment. I'm not telling you what it is. But, I'm not going 20 minutes out of my way to get a sandwich. And you know what? I don't want to use DoorDash because you know what? They charge through the roof. So I'm not cool with that. I'll go out anywhere in the neighborhood, get a sandwich. I'm not lazy about it. I'll get up, throw on some clothes and some sneakers, and go out there and get a sandwich. But I'm not going to Stop and Shop at 8:30 at night to just get cold cuts at the very best. And you know what? The deli's probably closed at that point too. You probably got to get the random little already made cold cuts that are just hanging out there for when they close the deli, right?
yeah, nobody wants that.
Yeah, I mean, you could salvage it, but why would you do that?
It's questionable
Right.
at best.
You want a place that makes sandwiches at least on a Sunday to 9, 10 o'clock,
Right.
I don't understand it. We're on the border of the city. We're in Queens, but we're on the border of Nassau. Is there not a place to get a decent sandwich around here? Somewhat late at night. It's not even really late at night. It's, just past dinner time, let's say, right?
Right.
Ernie, do you know any places around here? Because I don't. I was looking it up last night.
No.
Nothing, right? You
I
probably
mean-
should have had your restaurant still open. You could have made a sambwich. Could have made a killing right now on Sunday nights making sandwiches.
Unless you want to go to like Jersey Mike's or something like that.
I don't even think it was open because I looked
It's
it
in
up.
New Hyde Park.
Yeah, no, I know,
What
but
time are you talking about?
it was like 8:30 when I was looking for a sandwich.
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying with Sunday.
Yeah.
The closings
But
of
still,
stuff.
you can't stay open to 9, 10 o'clock on a Sunday.
Right.
People want sandwiches.
People got to eat, no matter what time of the day it is.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody's on a different schedule. It's New York. People are working at night.
I took the words right out of my mouth.
Now I see the
Some
light.
people work Sundays. Some people get home late on Sundays. And I
Right.
know it was Father's Day too, so maybe
Thank you.
that had something to do with it. But still, everyone wants to go get food. I know it was a big barbecue day yesterday. I had a barbecue with my parents.
I saw a funny meme about that too. It was Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son, like giving like the side eye, and it said, on Mother's Day, all the restaurants, every restaurant in the world is booked,
Yeah.
But on Father's Day, they want you to cook.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. Oh man, but I can't believe
No break
it.
for the dads, I guess.
Yeah, they want the dads
Shout
on
out-
their day to barbecue.
Shout out to all our fans that are dads or subscribers or watchers.
Right.
Happy belated Father's Day.
Just shout out to all dads in general. How about that? Everyone that's out there, even if you're not listening, whatever.
And single mothers.
Right. It's a good Father's Day. It's a good time to be with family. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much my quick rant for this week. I could probably go on to other things, but we'll save that for another day. I kind of want to just jump right in to some of the sports right now. And the first thing I want to talk about, I guess, is not the Yankees or the Mets, not baseball in general. I'm going to talk about pickleball right now. Apparently, that's the newest craze. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if anyone else has.
I have not.
No.
But I watched it on Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on ESPN. And there are, what do you call it, doubles for pickleball. Like I don't know if it's always doubles or you could play pickleball one-on-one, but I was watching a doubles match, and if no one knows what really pickleball is, because I didn't until I started watching it, it's basically a smaller tennis court with a plastic ball and paddles, and you're basically playing tennis, but it's pickleball and it's just smaller.
Same rules.
I don't know if it's the same rules, to be honest with you. I didn't do much research on it. It just looks like a lazy man's tennis. Or like they said, we don't want to play tennis. We also don't want to play ping pong. We want to play something in the middle. And pickleball is born. And
One of the fastest growing sports in the world.
yeah.
Is that right?
Granted, ESPN will put almost anything that's almost a sport on their channels right now.
Right. I feel like the cornhole carried them through the pandemic.
Yep. They literally have
that and UFC, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like cornhole is now on ESPN, and I'm sure there's other random weird sports that is on ESPN that we don't even know about yet. Or I know every once in a while they have ESPN the Ocho on one of the ESPN channels, and they have these really weird sports or just random things that you play in a backyard. And that's just how it goes, I guess. Now, I don't know if it's because ESPN isn't getting as many viewers as normal, but like pickleball, really cornhole. Like cornhole's fun. You go to a barbecue, you play cornhole, whatever. It's a great time. It's a good drinking game. It's a good way to kill time. Don't have anything against that. I actually want to play pickleball just to experience it for myself, but I don't know if there's any courts where we could play around here. So we might have to do a research and see if we could play it and then like film it for the show and see what's going on with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I wonder if they like use like a regular tennis court and then maybe just make it smaller with a net or something like that.
From what it looked like, it was like just a smaller tennis court. I didn't see any out of bounds lines past it. Maybe what they do is just almost like the baseball and football games, like they change the lines week to week or day to day, and like they whatever.
Right.
I don't know if they do that with it, but it's something we're gonna have to be starting to talk about in the future and try to figure some stuff out with it and see if we cannot, get involved and play it. You know what I mean? Because there's tournaments, there's leagues.
Is that
just
right?
Like cornhole, there's leagues.
Yeah, there's a beautiful place in Valley Stream, football club.
Oh, maybe we'll
Valley
check it
Stream,
out.
That's not far from us. We should check that out.
My kids play there.
Oh, nice. Well, we should go with your kids and try and play them then. A little 2-on-2 action. I played tennis a few times. I'm not so bad at tennis.
Yeah. Oh, I never knew that.
I think it could transfer into I could be a decent pickleball player. I think I can handle that, especially at my age. A little less on the knees. Not as much movement. Just standing up in front of the net, just bouncing back and forth. I don't know. We gotta try it though. I think. Yeah. So I guess that's another rant, right?
Not really.
Pickleball, I don't know.
I would say that's you're excited for the experience.
Yeah, I mean everyone's talking about it, so we're gonna have to try it at some point. We're gonna have to go to Valley Stream. We're gonna have to tell them, we have our own show. We want to film it and see what they say. Maybe they'll let us play for free or something like that, or discounted. Maybe we'll do something like that. Who knows? I don't know. We'll figure it out though. I'm gonna have my events coordinator Ernie figure that out. He's just been promoted to events coordinator. So he just got promoted on the air. So congratulations, Ernie. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Did you catch those Astros jerseys?
Was that Cityscape?
Space City?
Oh, Space City.
Oh, I thought those are pretty cool.
Yeah, we gotta check it out. So I guess we'll go into baseball now. The Mets are playing the Astros tonight. The Yankees are off, and the Mets are 5 games under 500. And now you have a struggling Astros team that's coming in, and everyone's saying that the Astros is just going to go on a winning streak now, and they're going to beat the hell out of the Mets. I personally hope the Mets show up and actually could win a couple games here, because right now the Astros are tied with the Yankees for the last playoff spot. I mean, I know it's still June, and we really shouldn't even be talking playoffs, especially how bad the Yankees and the Mets are playing. But New York baseball right now is not good, and it's kind of hurting, at the very least, my summer. I don't know about yours, because I know you haven't really been focusing on baseball so much, but you're a Met fan, so you have to be worried about what the Mets are doing right now.
Yeah, they seem to be in a free fall. I forget the stat that I saw, but they scored like 7 runs in the last X amount of games, and they're still lost every one of them. It's things are not going well in Queens right now.
No, and you see this right now on TV. You have Verlander getting his World Series ring from last year when he was with the Astros. If that's not a slap in the face, but those things happen every once in a while. The guy gets a World Series ring, goes to another team, but I don't know. If I was a Met fan, I'd be worried right now. You have 2 old starters, um, not really pitching particularly well. I know Alonso came back yesterday, which he shouldn't have came back for another couple weeks. So that might be good, but aren't you a little worried that he's not completely healed yet?
Yeah, that's got to be in the back, in the back of your mind. You don't want to rush it because he's kind of like the catalyst for you definitely know he's a big clubhouse guy, as well as his performance on the field.
Right. And yesterday he went 0 for 4, so I know it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get his timing back, but if he's still a little bit hurt, and this is like a desperation move because the Mets are 5 games under 500 and they're trying to get their offense going, like this could be a problem, right? Like down the line, like you don't know if he'll get hurt again or something will aggravate it, and then he's out for now an extended amount of time closer to the playoffs. And like ultimately, really, your goal for the Mets is make the playoffs, go into the playoffs hot, stay hot in the playoffs, and compete to go to the World Series. Kind of like at the same time with the crosstown rivals, the Yankees. That's all you want to do too. At this point, Tampa Bay's too good to pretty much probably surpass them to win the division. Plus, I think they're about 10 or 11 games back from them, and you have to jump over Baltimore and I think the Blue Jays right now at this point. Maybe not the Blue Jays, but because if they're tied for the last spot in for the playoffs, they're probably ahead of the Blue Jays. I haven't looked at the standings, but I mean they're also in a rough spot. They have a bunch of guys that are just not really hitting right now, and it's kind of a little scary. You know what I mean? Like you spend all this money, right, and you want them to play to the back of their baseball card, and they don't. So like I know Stanton just came back, but he's hitting 105 since he's been back. 40 at bats. I think he's like 4 for 40 or 4 for 38, something like that. Rizzo was doing good, and then for like the last 3 weeks or so, he can't hit.
No timetable for Judge.
So that it's funny you mentioned that. Judge was supposed to be back soon, but then I guess in another toe he has a ligament issue. So now it's 2 toes that he has ligament issues, and I believe he got a shot the other day. So there's really no timetable for him to return, which makes us think that he's going to be out longer than expected, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
I would tend to agree there, yeah.
Which kind of sucks because without Judge, unfortunately, the Yankees can't score any runs. Like over the weekend, they scored in 3 games. What was it? 5, 2 and 1. So they scored 8 runs, and they got swept by the Red Sox. And I get it. Right now, the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry for some people isn't like something as big as it used to be because the Red Sox aren't as good, and when the Yankees are good, they're beating up on the Red Sox. But now both teams isn't any good, and the Red Sox were worse than them, and they put a beating on them all weekend in Boston. They swept them. Like that shouldn't be happening, no matter what. Like you at least got to take one. And if it was just that series and they were going to play them next week at Yankee Stadium, fine. But the week before, the Red Sox went into Yankee Stadium and beat them 2 out of 3. So you have 1 win out of 6 games against the Red Sox. No Yankee fan.
Yeah, you can't have that. Yeah.
Right. Like you're not even
unacceptable.
a Yankee fan, but what do you think? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you can't have that. You gotta at least have a few more wins, and those are big games.
Right. And you want to point to, okay, the bullpen blew a game, fine, so be it over the weekend. But the bullpen has been their strength all season. They have one of the best, if not the best, bullpen in baseball. So that's going to happen time to time. The guys aren't going to always have their stuff. And unfortunately, they blew a game, so that's fine. And their starting pitching has been fine for the most part too. It's really just the hitting. These guys aren't hitting well, and you get a guy on, you get two guys on. If you can't play small ball at a time like this just to push runs in to keep it going, I don't know how you could win any ball games. The Yankees play the Mariners the next couple of games, and the Mariners are a good team too. They're at 500, but last year they were in the playoffs for the first time in like 20 years. So they're not a shabby team, and they're going up against two good pitchers. So you have to pitch with them, and then you have to just score one more run more than them. That's what you have to do.
Right.
However you got to do that. Move runners over. Like, these guys are professional hitters. I hate when people say they can't do it. You make all this money to do it. Work on it. Make adjustments. That's what baseball's all about. It's one of the few sports that you can make adjustments throughout a game and be successful.
Adapt, yeah.
Yeah, adapt and be successful. Okay, you got first and second, no outs, bunt. Hit the other way. Sacrifice fly out there, like not sacrifice, but fly out to right or left or whatever to move the runners over. Like, these things you have to do right now while Aaron Judge isn't here.
Right.
And you got guys making a ton of money that aren't hitting. Stanton's one of them. Rizzo. I don't even want to talk about Donaldson. He's a joke. LeMahieu, Volpe. And I know Volpe's not making a lot of money, but he's supposed to be like the newest rookie. He's supposed to be like almost like one of the faces of the franchise.
Yeah.
And his power numbers are there. His average is just abysmal. Like, he needs to put the ball in play more. He can't be striking out. He can't be, I don't know. Like, he's got to do better.
They're not getting the job done, though.
No, not at all. But I know, like, baseball's one of the few sports that you play for 6 months. You play a ton of games. Play double more than any other sport. Like, basketball plays 82, hockey's 82. So you play almost double that. So with that being said, I understand, like, you're going to have weeks like this.
Right.
But the Yankees are much better than what we're seeing right now.
On the field.
Yeah, on the field. I mean, the whole outfield is basically two rookies, and you got IKF out there. And I know Bader's coming back tomorrow, which is great. Maybe he could give a little bit of a spark.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
But he's also another guy. Like, he's not making a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's just going to do what he does.
Streaky guy, or?
He's not really a streaky guy. Like, since he's been here, he's been great.
Yeah.
He just can't stay healthy. Like, this is his second stint, this year.
This year already?
Yeah.
Wow.
And last year he came to us already hurt. So you're talking about, we've had him almost a year now, a little short of a year, but he's probably played like 30, 40 games, not even, you know what I mean? So he needs to stay healthy. And I don't know if this is a trainer thing. Like, someone needs to tell me what's going on. Because a couple of years ago, everyone was getting hurt, and they fired the trainers. Now we're having this problem again. Everybody's getting hurt. Like, who do you put the blame on? Like, what are we doing? Are we lifting too much? Are we just not stretching enough? What's going on?
Right.
Guys are getting too hurt with obliques, hamstrings, quads, like whatever. Like, all these, like, sore, like, ligaments and muscles kind of, like, things. Like, someone's not getting hit in the hand and breaking a wrist is what I'm saying. Like, what is going on? Like, who do we have to hold responsible? Because New York, the only thing we've had for the last couple of years is New York baseball has kept us going. And now it seems like it's going to be football and hockey that keeps us going, which there's not a problem with that. Don't get me wrong. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you think the one thing we wouldn't have to worry about is our baseball teams. They both came off almost 100-win seasons. The Mets had 101. The Yankees had 99 last year. Now,
not so much.
They're not going to even they're not going to get close to it. So it's almost kind of crazy, like, how this is happening. You know what I mean? And I don't get it. Like, what is the issue here? It's driving me nuts.
Frustrating, yeah.
Yeah. As a fan that wants to go to these games, I can't go to the games right now when they're boring. Like, I'm not going to spend $50, $100 to go to a game and then, watch a 2-1 loss, and they put 10 to 12 guys on base and they can't drive anybody in because either someone's striking out or grounding out to the pitcher or grounding into double plays. Like, who wants to see that?
Yeah. By the way, I think I might be going Friday
This Friday?
to the Bronx, so
Really?
I'll get to see it firsthand, and I'll let you know.
Who you going with?
My friend Oscar.
Nice. Is he a
Yeah.
Yankee fan? Because I know you ain't.
Shout out to Oscar. Happy Father's Day, my dude. I think it was his second Father's Day. Yeah. No,
Nice.
first? No, second.
Shout out to
Anyway,
Oscar.
Oscar, you're
But
the
he's a
man.
big Yankee fan,
Love you.
apparently. He's going to
Huge
the game.
Yankee fan. Yeah.
Where are you guys sitting? Do you know?
No idea.
Good talk.
I just found out a minute ago.
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope you have a good time. Like, and hopefully,
you.
who are they playing? Do you know who they're playing?
Not sure.
Let me see here. Let's look at the schedule. Not now. Let's see what we got. Oh, they're playing the Rangers on Friday. That's going to be a good game.
Oh,
if
Rangers?
If the Yankees show up.
Rangers good?
Rangers are good. They're leading the division right now.
Is that right?
I think so. Yep, they are.
Wow.
By 4.5 games. And you'll never
like,
guess who's the second team.
It's kind of like Tampa-esque where, they don't, potentially have any big sign. I mean, besides DeGrom, but I'm just saying traditionally, Texas isn't a team that's, known for winning and spending.
Well, the last 2 years, they spent a ton of money. They brought in that guy, Simeon, that was from Toronto.
Oh, right.
And they brought in, was it Corey Seager the same year to
Okay.
play their infield?
Yeah, I think I had him in fantasy.
Yeah, and then they got DeGrom this year, and they put in a couple other pieces. So right now, they're 44-27, leading their division.
Look at them.
And then the Angels are next out of all teams, and they're over 500. They're 41-33, probably off of Ohtani's back right now because he's leading the league in home runs. So to me, it's
that guy's
crazy.
a superhero.
Yeah, he is. The problem with him is at some point this year they're gonna have to shut him down a little bit. So whether or not he gets hurt or I say like a fake injury where like he needs 2 weeks off, at some point he's gonna need a couple weeks off to like kind of like recharge, especially if they're gonna be in a playoff race where like they're projected to go into the playoffs. You can't have this guy pitching every 5 days and then the other 4 days DHing or whatever and get ready for the playoffs because he'll be gassed by the time the playoffs come.
Right.
And
his blade needs to be sharp.
100%, or else he can't cut the grass.
That's it, baby.
So I know, like,
watch out for the snakes as well.
Well, I mean, if you got a blade, you're all right. So, with that being said, like I think the last 2 years that since he's played, like he's always had like an IL stint for like a couple weeks. So I almost guarantee at some point this year he's going to be either on the IL or they're going to give him a break from either, I would assume pitching because that would make the most sense.
Right.
And then he'll just hit for a while and that's it. But I mean, he's on a pace right now to probably hit, around 50 home runs, which is kind of wild or close to it. It's one of those things. Right now he's got 24 homers. Alonso has 22. He hasn't played. He just started playing yesterday. And you got a bunch of guys in the early 20s with, Olsen and Schwarber.
It seems like Pham is playing more regularly for the Mets. Just not a guy you want to be in a fantasy league with, from what I've heard.
Well, he's come up in big spots and come through from what I've been seeing from like the highlights. Like he'll hit a 2-run bomb to like
tie
a game or go ahead by
Saturday
1 or 2.
That was over the weekend.
I think it was over the weekend with the Reds. I think it was
Saturday.
Might have been yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Might have been yesterday to tie it up at 7. But then they wound up losing because Arenado hit the home run.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was.
Seems about right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, baseball's interesting right now. There's a lot of teams in play, which is good for them.
Right.
But not good for Yankees or Mets. Because, come the trade deadline, are you going to have anyone selling anything? Or they're going to want top dollar to sell something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're not going to want to do that, I don't think. That's like kind of rough.
Yeah, not ideal.
No, not right now. Like the Mets need to get it going. They need to start winning some ball games. Same thing with the Yankees. I would say they both need at least a 5-game win streak, if not more, to get back into a bunch of these things, into these race, and then they could start addressing their needs. Like the Mets need bullpen help, right, and another bat. The Yankees need bats. and not like a Benintendi that came here, didn't really hit, got hurt, and he was done, and then he went to the White Sox, and I don't think he's yet to hit a home run this year. You know, like they need something good from someone.
Right.
You know, and I don't care where it's from, as long as the guy comes here and can hit the ball. I'm tired of guys coming here like Donaldson or IKF and like maybe have a game or two where they're good and then they're terrible for the rest of the year. So I, I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. But Ernie, I meant to ask you a question. You ready over there, or you're busy?
Busy working on the Instagram.
All right, well, we'll put that on pause for a minute because we're about to talk golf right now, and I need you, okay? Because I didn't really watch much of golf this weekend. What was it, the U.S. Open?
Yep.
So, in your opinion, right, the U.S. Open, whatever course where were they at this weekend? Do you know?
L.A. Country Club.
Okay.
First time they had a U.S. Open there since 1946.
Wow.
Really?
Long time.
Wow. So I heard they made that course really, really hard for these guys.
Well, the U.S. Open typically is a tournament where they want the scores to be very high compared to most tournaments.
Okay.
And the guy who won actually shot he won with the 11 under par, which is very low for a U.S. Open. Wyndham Clark and beat out Rory McIlroy by a shot.
Oh, McIlroy came in second?
Yeah, my boy Ricky Fowler started the last day tied at 10 under and shit the bed on the last day.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he shoot?
I think he ended up shooting 5 under, so he shot like 5 over par on the final day.
Wow. So was that in like the 80s or like high 70s?
No, he shot 5 over. It was a par 70.
So 75.
So he shot. Like
they were saying, people I was talking to saying like this course is really hard, and like there were guys that shot in the 80s. It was so hard. Like the rough around the fairway is like super deep. I saw a TikTok video where a guy dropped 3 golf balls into the rough, and you're standing almost over it, and you couldn't even see the ball. No. It was so deep in, you couldn't see the ball.
It was like 4 inches deep.
Yeah.
And it was like a bird's nest. So
yeah, how do you hit that?
These guys did the front 9 played the whole weekend like 2 strokes better than the back 9. The back 9 is where guys were getting destroyed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, in relation, Dustin Johnson shot, I think for the tournament, he shot 10 under on every hole but the second, where for the weekend on the second hole he shot something like 8 over par. So he could have very easily have won the tournament if it wasn't for the second hole.
The second hole, all 4 days, he shot 8 over par?
Yes, on the first day he shot a quadruple bogey, 4 over par.
That kind of sounds like me.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I'm glad actually hearing that, because you know what? It means they suck sometimes too, right?
Hey, they're human. There you go, baby.
They're human.
The greens were ridiculous.
And this is out in LA, right?
LA, yeah.
So the greens were ridiculous, meaning what, too fast or just like
super fast and just crazy dips and rises and downhill and uphill. Guys were putting the ball like 17 feet either left or right of the hole, trying to hit a ridge, and it would just come down. It was the craziest thing ever. Yeah.
Really? I wish I'd have watched more of it. I saw some of it yesterday, and some of the guys that I was watching, I don't remember any of their names, but it was around, I want to say like between 2 and 4 yesterday. And the guys that were playing around that time, like you could see, like some guys were in the rough, and they were like, I remember one particular hole. I thought it might have been a par 3, it might have not been, but he's in the rough. Then in front of him is a sand trap, and then the pin is right behind it. And instead of going right for the pin, he went right to just go onto like the fairway / the beginning of the green. And I'm like, why wouldn't he just try just to get it over the green? Like, because he was in the rough where, like, if he chipped it up, it would go over the sand, right? But he went the opposite way. And when he did, he still missed the fairway / green area because it's right on that cusp that we always talk about, like where, you know, like it could go either way. And it went back to the rough. And then he had to hit it out of the rough again.
Yeah. A lot of guys were hitting into the sand traps and then trying to hit out, and it was all that crazy rough right after. So a lot of the guys were hitting out of the sand and getting stuck in the rough.
Ooh. Oh.
Actually, there was one hole, I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was Saturday, where John Rahm was in the sand trap and actually hit it out of the sand trap backwards on purpose.
Just to hit it over the sand trap.
No, not over. He went backwards, away from the green.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is he went backwards to then now, I guess, like chip it or
give
just
himself
hit
a
it
better angle.
Yeah,
to get onto
just
the
to
green.
get it onto the green. Wow, that's wild.
The last 3 holes yesterday with the pin positions, the last 3 holes were the longest 3 holes in the history of the U.S. Open.
Longest 3 holes?
Yeah.
How far were they?
They were 532, 532, and then like 550 something. And they were all par 4s.
What? They weren't even par 5s?
No.
That's wild.
And Ricky Fowler ended up, you know, in, I think it was like 3rd or 4th place. And like I said, he started yesterday at 10 under, finished at 5 under, I believe.
Yes, it was tied.
Broke the record, or tied the record. No, broke the record for the most birdies in the tournament. He had 23 birdies over the weekend, but the problem was he had very few pars. It was either bogeys or
bogeys or birdies. So double B's, birdies or bogeys.
I think it was something like after the first 2 rounds, the first 36 holes, he had something like 18 birdies.
Wow. That's nuts. That's a lot of birdies. But then, I mean, he was so good on certain holes, then yet equally as bad on other holes.
Yeah, well, the first day he shot a 62.
That's pretty good.
Which was the lowest round in U.S. Open history, I believe it was.
Wow.
And 2 guys actually shot it on the same day, him and Xander Schauffele.
Wow. That's nuts.
Speaking of, heard you mention TikTok before there. We have a TikTok?
Instagram.
No, we have an Instagram.
Did I say TikTok?
I think I said I was watching the golf on the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an Instagram. I think it's at Kings of Opinion. No TikTok as of yet, but we'll work on it. We'll get a little TikTok going at some point so that we can do little clips when we're out and about in the city or anywhere we go to show you what's going on, where we're at.
Sorry about that. I thought my friend said that he saw you on TikTok, but
Really?
maybe he meant YouTube.
Yeah, I think it has to be at this point YouTube, unless you show me in person.
Right.
So, I don't know what was that? Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, we're in it now?
Yeah.
We're into it? Good. I like it. Let's write down everything.
I did.
Okay, good. All right.
I said the you wonder.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, brother.
Good. Obviously, I'm filming from my phone, so I won't see it till after the show, but that's all good. I'm glad we got that settled. So, yeah, on Instagram and coming to a TikTok near you.
Kings, hold on a second.
It's got to be, I think it's Kings of Opinion, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
That's it, right? No underscores or anything
No,
of that
no.
nature. Excellent. All right, there you go. We're live.
Yep.
Once
And
again.
we're missing Christina tonight. She wanted to come by, but she's a little, held up with work. So hopefully we'll get her on another day soon. She was very popular, I think, in the last episode.
Yeah, it was great to have her.
Yeah.
We'd love to hope she comes back soon.
Absolutely. And from here, you know what? Before we move away from golf, you know what I want to talk about real quick?
What's that, champ?
Here we go. Here I go. So I golfed on Saturday, and Ernie, I need to take you to Stonebridge so that you will understand
Where is
what
this?
I'm about to say. This is in Smithtown. It's
Okay.
Stonebridge Country Club or just golf course, whatever.
I have a friend out there. Shout out to Dom and Carly.
Right. Shout out to them. but like you just Google it, Smithtown, Stonebridge, and it comes right up in Google Maps. Nice course. For me, it's hard. I shot a 106. I was the biggest loser there. It's only my second time playing there. But when I tell you the greens are a pain in the ass, I don't think, even in Ocean City, I don't think it was as bad as this place. So the greens, not only are they fast, and this is late in the afternoon, like it wasn't wet. We're playing from 3 o'clock to 7:30, so dry, fast. But every green was like hilly. Like there's double hills, single hills. The hole is like under a hill or on top of a hill. You have to go through double hills. There's no way, unless you're a professional or a scratch golfer, that you'll not three putt every hole on that course.
Right.
And that's what the most frustrating thing is, because I didn't even really do that bad driving the ball, which my last couple times out in Ocean, which was last time we played, my drives weren't particularly well, right? Like 50-50. I would say I did well driving and even good with my irons. It was the putting. I got on a green in 3 strokes. So now I'm putting for par within a decent distance. Like I probably won't hit it, but I'll settle for a bogey. So 2 putt, let's go.
Right.
Like at Douglaston, I could do that all day. Here, it was a 3 putt almost every hole, even the par 3s. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so now you got a little taste of what it was like this weekend for the pros.
Yeah,
They were all 3-putt.
yeah, it's wild, but it makes me feel good when you see stuff like that. And these guys are like super professional, right? Like they hit in the 60s and whatever. And if they have a hard time, like now I kind of get it. But like these, like we go to a lot of courses every once in a while where, and I'm notorious for this. I don't know about you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I play a course for the first time, I'm terrible because I don't know what to expect.
Right. You got to feel it out.
Right.
Figure it out.
Like Douglaston and Casino, I've pretty much mastered. Like, not that I'm like hitting for par every whatever, or like I'm a scratch golfer, but like I'm good enough where like I know what I'm doing there and whatever, right? But these courses that we play, sometimes when you play it once, maybe twice,
And that's what was nice about this weekend, is that none of these guys, I mean, very few of them have actually played that course, or even played it, on a couple of occasions. So, I mean,
well, you said they haven't played there since the 1940s, right?
right, but like,
But some of those guys practiced there or whatever.
right, like Max Homa, well, I think he won something like that, won college tournament there, so he had played there before. And I'm sure a few of the guys who live in California have played there on occasion. But I mean, like Justin Thomas, who's one of the best players by far in the world, one of the days shot at 81. Shot at 81. He was, and I forget. I think it was either 70 or 79. So think about it. One of the best golfers in the world, and he shot 10 over.
Yeah, that's nuts. That is nuts. I mean, I guess that makes you feel a little bit better, but then again, they're not playing Stonebridge. If they played Stonebridge, they'd probably shoot for par, if not like 12 or 15 under par, which makes me look bad anyway. But I don't really take it that seriously. I am competitive, but I also know this is only my 4th season playing golf, and I'm doing okay. So as long as I do okay,
There was one
Alright.
hole. There was one hole on Saturday. That was par 3. It was one of the crazy holes the whole weekend. But on Saturday, the pin position where it was 81 yards for a par 3, and these guys were getting destroyed by this hole.
it was only 81 yards away.
81 yards away.
How are they getting destroyed? What was wrong with the hole? Was it on a volcano?
No, it was just because of the pin placement, and the course was just as difficult as it was, and the greens guys were getting destroyed on an
Really?
81 yard.
Was the pin like under hills or above hills or something?
Well, the whole course was just great, and the bunkers were out of control.
Like Eisenhower bunkers,
Out
like
of
where it's like a
control.
wall.
Out of control. Like they were elevated. Yes, they weren't crazy. It's just that the sand was not a powder sand. It was more kind of like sand that we'll see, right, on our courses. And,
Like hard sand, like
yeah,
it's like
and just
cement.
the pin placements made it impossible. It was
Wow, that's nuts. So I have a question for you because someone brought this to my attention on Saturday, and I tried doing it, and I got very agitated with it. So apparently, if you're in a sand trap, right,
Okay.
you could obviously you're gonna have to hit out of the sand, right? But when you line up to hit your ball, your club cannot hit like touch the sand before you hit.
Correct.
Why? I don't understand that.
Can't ground it because
But you could ground it on the grass. Why can't you ground it on the sand?
to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure why. I'm gonna assume that the reason why is because the sand is so usually soft and fluffy that if you do ground it, there's a good chance your ball's gonna move, which is a penalty. If your ball moves before you strike it,
It's a penalty, right?
Yes.
But if you're far enough behind it and you touch the sand, it's still a stroke.
no, you're not allowed to ground Vogelback its own.
Vogel snacks.
Wow. Is that his first one of the year? I have no idea.
No, I think it's
Four. It's his fourth one. His fourth one. Fourth one. He's played enough.
Look at that.
What? I wonder if Mattress Mac is is attending.
But yeah, I'm not sure exactly why, but you cannot ground your club.
See, to me, that makes no sense. Like, listen, if you ground your club in the sand and the ball moves, I get the stroke penalty. But you should be able to ground your club.
But don't forget also,
If you-
I'm assuming part of it's going to be if you do ground your club in the sand, you're going to create a dent, which is going to give you an advantage because now you're going to be able to
But
hit
what if
under your ball better. Whereas if you're grounding in the grass, you're not affecting the lie of the ball.
That's a fair statement. But I guess what I would say is like, if you just rest your club on the sand, you're not creating a dent.
I'm not
but-
sure.
But you know, it makes it. I tried it on Saturday because one of the guys I was playing with, I'm not gonna mention any names,
Gary,
but you know, Gary doesn't even know that.
oh,
Probably rule.
Gary knows it because he complained about Nilesh.
But he doesn't do it because I was playing with him on Saturday, and he was in the sand, so he doesn't do it. However, either which way, I tried to do it without touching the sand, and once I was told not to touch the sand before I strike, it was significantly harder to hit that ball out of the sand.
Of course. So now what you're claiming is that all your scores in the past have not been legitimate scores because you've been grounding your club in the sand.
Probably.
So I'm gonna have to
Recount?
protest every tournament that we've played.
Right. So, like, I mean,
Have them all removed
that's
from the
fair, but I
archives.
kind of have a feeling that everyone grounds their clubs in the sand.
I never grounded my club.
Well, you know what? Now we're playing next week. I'm going to watch you in every sand trap.
Oh, I promise you.
I'm watching you every sand trap.
I promise you.
Okay? Because you know what? It's you guys. Hold on. It's you guys that are supposed to be teaching me, the new guy on the course,
The nuances,
these rules.
the nuances of the game.
These nuances. You can't tell me 4 years later when
One,
day one when I'm just off the green and I go to like put the marker down, I get yelled at by Gary that I can't do that. So I learned it. Like day one, I learned it. Now all of a sudden,
Need
4
some
years later, you're
pointers.
telling me I can't touch the sand.
one thing Ernie can say with pure confidence is that I might be the worst at golf, but I do everything correctly.
I'll give you that.
No half
However,
measures.
I find it hard to believe that out of all the times you're in the sand, you never once touched the sand before you hit the ball.
Nope.
It's impossible.
No,
Nobody's
I never
perfect.
grounded my club in the sand.
What the hell? It's the same thing.
Before you hit the ball. Obviously,
Right.
when you go to swing and hit the
Oh,
ball.
obviously, I'm
you're
not talking about that.
correct.
But what I'm
No,
saying
I
is
never
not once did you line up and
Nope.
accidentally touch the sand.
Nope. I promise.
Not till after.
Ernie, I'm going to put you on trial.
I promise you.
I'm going to put you on trial.
I promise you.
I believe him.
Not that I don't believe him, but when you say you've never done that, like there's got to be a time where you might have done it, where like it was close, you don't know. To say that you've never
He
done
told you.
something,
He told you he takes his time.
I've seen him in the sand. I get it. He takes his time with every shot he takes. He takes like 3 minutes for every shot. But you're not telling me that when he's doing that in the sand, he doesn't
Good
ever
things.
touch the sand.
Good things take time. man.
You know, he's got to touch the sand at least once.
Never.
At least once.
At
least once.
Nope.
Uh,
I don't do it.
folks, you heard it here first. I'm going to debunk this man the next time we play golf. I hope he hits it in the sand.
And you heard it
I
here
don't know,
first.
I'm gonna
I'm
hear it.
protesting every.
I don't care if he does, because even with that, I still beat him. Okay? So it doesn't matter. I'm the next big thing in golf. No, I'm kidding. But I'll be on the senior tour soon. Don't worry about it. All right, so that was good. We gave a lot of time to golf.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like the live
So
thing.
Maybe we'll get some
under
new
the rules
fans.
of golf, a bunker is considered a hazard in the same company as water. So golfers are prohibited from doing three things in hazards: testing the condition of a hazard, figuring out if the ground is soft, fluffy, wet, dry, etc. Touching the ground or water in a hazard with their club or hand. Touch or move loose impediments lying in or touching the hazard. So if there's a pebble in the sand next to your ball, whereas in the grass you can move a leaf or a branch, in a sand trap you cannot.
Oh, I see.
Wow, that's a good rule. I hate it, but that's a good rule.
So as such, a golfer is prohibited from grounding their club in the sand in a bunker because it's considered a hazard.
Okay, so
The penalty then for grounding your club in a hazard is 2 strokes.
2 strokes.
2 strokes.
Wow.
Oh, so I'm definitely.
Those would add up. Yeah, those
every
are.
game we
I think
play.
those would add up. Yeah.
How is it 2 strokes? That's almost no. I get it, but that's almost like saying like that's more strokes than if you are off the tee and you hit it into the tree, you get a stroke penalty. For in the sand, you get 2 strokes. How is that? How does that make any sense? You know what, PJ? You better get back to the rule books. You need to fix that rule. How is it a 2-stroke penalty? I don't get it.
That's it.
Okay?
Protest. Where do I file my protest?
Follow that. All right. All right.
That's more.
You know where to
That's more
follow.
strokes than an Olympic swimming relay race.
Right? You know? Jesus. That's ridiculous. I might as well just take the ball and throw it out and not hit it for 2 strokes. But hey guys, no big deal. And why can't you do that? Is there a rule about picking up your ball? It's still 2 strokes, right? If you touch it. But it just said it's a hazard, right? So if you touch your ball, it's automatically 2 strokes, right?
Yeah, but
So just throw the ball.
No, you
At this point, throw the ball. You know? Why wouldn't you? It's 2 strokes regardless. You know?
Oh, we got some new guests.
Oh, we have a new guest.
Who we got here?
We got lovely ladies and a crazy lawyer.
Oh
You
boy.
always put on.
Oh boy. Oh, looks like we're gonna have to wrap up early.
We have some news for. We have some news to fill in.
Oh, Jesus.
Shady and Amishan.
He almost ate
Every
shit.
golf game we've played is being protested because we just found out that Ryan grounds his club in the sand traps, and that's a 2-stroke penalty.
So listen, I wasn't aware of it.
You got that, Shady?
I wasn't aware of it, so I can't be held accountable for it.
Every golf game is under protest.
From here on out, you can do it. What is that
Good.
stupid hat? Get over
What
here.
is this? Who is this guy?
Who's this? What is this hat? Slurpee? Where'd you get this hat?
Hi there. How are you guys?
Amish Doshi here, guys. Amish Doshi
He's feeling
legal.
camera ready.
For all your legal needs.
That's right.
Right here.
He's feeling.
right here.
He's feeling camera ready tonight.
Shady
Camera ready. He's out here with a
Just
Slurpee
figuring it
hat.
out. He's been cheating the whole time.
First off, we're gonna get off this subject, but first off, I haven't been cheating because I didn't know the rule, and that's these old guys that have been golfing for 20 years to tell me the rule. So that's it. All right. So now we're moving on. Let's go with. I don't know. You got songs you want to do? Want to do movies?
Did you have any TV or movies?
I don't know. All I know is that Misha has to shut up.
True.
You know? But I guess we'll go with the movie I saw this weekend, The Flash. Real quick, easy. It wasn't terrible. Michael Keaton stole the show. He was great as Batman. Obviously, if you didn't see any clips, it's a spoiler. But if you saw any previews, he was in it, and he was fantastic. If he wasn't in it, if none of the Batmans were in it, the movie would have been straight trash.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not a big Ezra Miller fan because of all his off the scenes or off the movie stuff that he does.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, he doesn't really play a true Barry Allen. and we'll get into that after you watch the movie. I don't want to get into that now, but overall, it was an acceptable movie. The last scene, like the credit scene, didn't make any sense. It didn't lead to anything, so I don't understand why they did it. I don't want to ruin it yet because I want you guys to watch it. But the action was cool. CGI could have been better. The story could have been better. But Michael Keaton, at whatever age he is, or 60 or whatever, crushed it as Batman.
Nice.
Like,
No,
go see that movie
that I'm happy to
just
hear.
for Michael Keaton alone. Crushed it.
Right on.
Crushed it.
Speaking of which, I do have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Let's hear it.
And it's got to do with Barry.
Okay.
Oh, Barry. I started watching season 4, by the way.
Oh, I watched the whole series.
All 4 seasons?
Yeah, in a matter of a couple of weeks. And it started out good. And listen, I only watched it because The Wanderer said it's probably the best television ever created. I was highly disappointed.
Really?
Especially with season 4. Did you
Really?
truly like season 4?
Yeah.
And the way it ended?
I mean, the way
I think
the
it
way
was the most predictable thing I've ever seen. And I'm not usually good at predicting what's going to happen.
Oh,
in the
you
show.
figured it out?
I thought it was so predictable.
Really? You know what? I didn't really think about it too much, but I just thought it fit like perfectly.
It was just so far. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, it's you know, it's a show. You know, it's not based in.
No, I get that. I get
You
that,
know.
but I don't know, man. I was
Was there anything specific that bothered you?
mostly the fact that you said it was the best television ever created.
No,
Usually, I value your opinion
Right.
because you're usually spot on when you're.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So
Yeah, no,
this one's kind of like.
I'm not. I don't know if I would say the best ever, but definitely for myself up there with top shows of all time for sure. But
So,
hey, that's the great thing about it's opinions. We've all got them.
Right,
And,
we definitely had a bunch of opinions on tonight's show. Outside of that. Okay?
That's it.
We've been
Different
arguing for the
strokes.
last 20 minutes.
Different strokes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That was a
I
callback.
just started season 4 today while I was working out. So I only saw the first 2 episodes.
All right.
So
We'll have to hear your consensus.
How many episodes are in season 4?
Was it 8?
10 or 8?
Not a lot.
Okay,
like
so
8
I might
or
be able to
something
finish
like
it for the next episode next week.
Yeah,
So
but you've been saying this for like the last 6 episodes that you've.
I was watching Fubar. Did you watch Fubar on Netflix?
No.
Watch that. If you're an Arnold fan, watch that. It's hilarious. Trust me.
Really?
It's hilarious and it's action packed and it's got a little bit of everything. So definitely watch Fubar. That's what I was finishing in last week. Now I'm on to Barry. I'm going to finish that by the end of the week. No big deal. And then we'll talk about it next week, I guess, a little bit more, Barry, because now I can have my own opinion
Cool.
on his opinion. So we'll go with that for now. Anyone watch anything else that we want to talk about? I don't see anything else.
I feel like I started something, but I can't recall, so I'm going to save that for next time.
Go with your patented last couple.
Oh yeah,
your
so
songs.
we got some 3 music selections for your listening pleasure. This week we are going with the new release by Killer Mike. It's called Michael. It's fire. Check it out wherever you get your streaming or however you get your music. Then I'm going to go with an older record, Kendrick Lamar, Untitled, Unmastered. I think this is an overlooked masterpiece. I think it's a great record, and it gets overlooked a bit. And then for third, I'm going to go with Black Midi, Hellfire. Hellfire is the album. I got to see them last week at Governor's Ball, and they did not disappoint. So
Governor's Ball is awesome, right?
yeah, it was a great time. I actually
Who'd you go with?
solo do. Actually, no. I met my friend Avin. Met me there. So yeah, I Coast Contra was great. Black Midi, as I mentioned, Pusha T put on a phenomenal set, and Kendrick killed it as
Nice.
always.
I'm glad you had a good time. Where was that at? Flushing Meadow?
Yes, it was.
Sweet.
Correct.
Sweet. They used to have it at Randall's Island. I used to I used to see it when I was going home from work.
Right now, yeah, that's where it usually is, which is a little tougher to get to for us.
you, yes, absolutely. For Long Island guys like yourself.
Island
But,
boys, baby.
Anything else we want to say? All right, so I guess for Monday, Juneteenth, we're going to sign off. We hope you enjoyed the show. There's a lot of controversy on the show, apparently, even though I don't believe it, because I was never told a lot of this stuff until Saturday. Oh yeah, Ernie's right. Big Ern McGurn is right. Don't forget about the Instagram.
Give us a follow.
And Facebook. Wander holds that down every once in a while. He'll drop what is it called? A link on Facebook, and we'll get a TikTok going soon. So look out for these videos of us doing silly things or fun things over the summer. This is going to be a good 2023 summer.
Anything for a laugh, baby.
Yeah, anything for some fun. Not just a
Don't
laugh.
forget, like the videos, hit that subscribe button.
There you go. Like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Because the more you guys do, the more we talk and the more we argue, apparently. So, everyone, it's about wrap up time. Have a great night. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next Monday.
Peace.
Later, guys.